Oh, welcome. Welcome, all who've come to be with us today. This is the online teaching that we do once a month, where some of the grandmothers come in together from around the world and we share with each other. We have a lot of activity coming up. During COVID, we had no gatherings except for one at Joshua Tree. And now we're back in the saddle again, and we have gatherings coming up one after another. In July, we began this work with the first gathering at the Westerbeck Ranch in Northern California. The second one is coming up in Trier, Germany. That will be on the first weekend in September. And right after that, September 9th, there's a one-day gathering in Belgium, out in the countryside. Nadia and I will both be there at those gatherings. And so the online teaching in September will go on, and Pam and Harriet will run that. It's important that the online teachings continue because these gatherings on the ground have more power, far more power, when you who are online are unified with us. We're going to talk about that today, how important that is and what you could do to support the work we're doing. When we come back from Europe, there will be another gathering at the very end of September. This one will be at Ghost Ranch in New Mexico, in what we used to call Indian country. And we'll be working there for 4 days, very intensive work there with the land. And then after that, there will be a gathering on the 4th and 5th in Wales. And there's still room for the gathering in Wales. So if you're interested in that, contact us through netoflight.org and we'll refer you to Jackie Singer, who's running that gathering in Wales. The purpose of all these gatherings is great. The grandmothers have said the purpose of these gatherings coming, one flowing right after the other one, is grand union, grand or great union, which means at each gathering, we are working in different areas for the same purpose. We will be working and did begin the work at Westerbeck Ranch with union with one another, with these human selves that we are, and then union with the divine, union with nature, which we, physical human beings, are part of. Sanctifying our bond with nature, union with the ancestors of our family lines and the ancestors of the land, and union with the divine in all of its magnificent forms. So we infuse ourselves with the one love, we infuse our beloved planet with the one love, and we support all life everywhere in this world and all worlds. It's a very big order. And the grandmother said, and you are the ones to do it. You can do this. So we're just going forward and we'll be doing this. So we ask you, if at all possible, inwardly, together with each other, separately by yourself, think of us, send light, stay connected with us in the net of light as we go through this period of time, beginning in the first weekend in September, really beginning like the 29th of August, and then circling through all the way through the 5th of October in Wales. Each gathering that comes will support the one that comes after it. So that it's a cumulative flow of light. And it's already begun. We began this flowing, these waves that cascade and rise up higher and higher. We began at Westerbeck Ranch. So stick with us, it'll be quite a ride. And our purpose, of course, is anchoring the net of light in every realm of life so that it pervades all life, supports all life, and goodness may prevail sooner rather than later. Okay, so with us today, we have two women from Europe who are helping form those two gatherings. The one in Germany, Trier, Germany, which sits at the corner of Germany, France, and Belgium. And then that's Sigrid. And then Christine, who is working with Martine and with the Lowlands team from Holland and Belgium on the gathering on September 9th. So what I'd like to do is talk together with you, Christine, and with you, Sigrid, about how this work of the Net of Light and the grandmothers has touched you. You're giving tremendous amount of energy and time to it. So I know it has. And you're helping many, many, many people in your country and in your language group, because this is basically the Flemish and Dutch language group in Belgium and the German language group in Germany. So in Germany, this also includes people from Austria, Switzerland, different, I think Poland, and there are two women coming from the Ukraine to the German gathering. Many thanks to all of you who are supporting those women and coming from the Ukraine. And many of you are. Thank you. So I'd like you to speak a little bit about how you see this work affecting you and the people that you know in the Net of Light work. What effect is it having on you and them? Nadia, you're raising a finger. Yes, dear.
You were asked to do a really short Net of Light meditation before we started.
Oh gosh, you're right.
I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to do it really briefly as you asked. So this is going to be the shortest one ever. So grandmothers, please speak for us, see through our eyes, listen through our ears, help us say what you would say. And together we are united in the Net of Light, and we hold all human beings, all animals, all plant beings, all the elements, all the nature spirits and devas, Mother Earth, and everything in the cosmos in the Net of Light. We are one, we are united, and we are part of the Net of Light. May everyone in all the worlds be happy.
May everyone in all the world be happy. Thank you, Nadia. Thank you. All right. So now, Christine and Sigrid, if you would just share a little bit personally from your perspective, how is this work with the Net of Light and the grandmothers impacting you and the people you're working with? Either one can speak first.
Okay, then I start. I know the grandmother for about 15 months only, and I like the work very much because I see that a lot of people, especially women, are looking for union, for connection to other women, for women's circles where they can really be as they are. They can talk about their wounds, about their fears, and they feel very comfortable in these circles. And the grandmother books really help because everything is very simple, so that each person can go with that. It's not complicated to declare something that somebody does not understand something, but it's very simple, and people like that. And they also like singing together, dancing together, and to have a good time together.
So
There is a big need, urge for feeling love, and in these circles, I think that's really, yeah, each person who participates can experience it, and it's doesn't matter how old are the people, what professionals are. They're only human beings. They can be their human beings, and this is very fascinating for me. That only few of them I know better who meet in this meeting, but it doesn't matter anyway. It's really a good connection between all the people coming to the gatherings, even if the group is very changing. Yeah, it's a good union. It's a good connection between all the people, and they very appreciate this.
I like
And
the
me
way
too.
I like the way you said it's not about how old you are or what your profession is or anything like that. It's being human beings together. Yeah, I've felt that in all these years. That's what affected me very much. Thank you, Sigrid. We'll come back to you too. How about Christine? How about you? What is how are you seeing this work helping you and others?
I've been working with the grandmothers since 2017. And I felt during this time, it brought more happiness, more joy in life, and more confidence too. It feels so wonderful that you can give all your sorrow to the grandmothers and the net of light, and you feel really supported by them. And through working with the Net of Light and the grandmothers in our group, we have a wonderful connection. And we feel when we come together and do the meditation and sing together, it's a wonderful connection. And we feel we can bring more balance in the yin and yang energy. We have some men working in our group too. So it's really a wonderful feeling. We are very, very grateful that we can do this work that we have been called by the grandmothers.
Thank you. Thank you. Is it having any particular, how is it I got to get this right. How is it benefiting the connection that you're sharing now with the Dutch, so that the Flemish and the Dutch, the Belgians and the Netherlands is working together? These are the two lowland countries that once long, long ago were one country and now are, and for quite a period of time now have been two different countries. And so now I remember the first times when I started going to do this work in Holland and then in Belgium, that there wasn't a coming together. It was very hard. And there was a, some history about not liking each other or not understanding each other. And I was so puzzled by that because I didn't understand the history, of course. But now that you're working as a unit, I want to hear about that.
I didn't even know that there were troubles between the Belgian and the people from the Netherlands. We are working so good together. We have such a wonderful connection with Diana and Trudy, Martine and I. We are sisters. We are all children of Mother Earth, and I can't feel any problems. So I'm a bit confused. It's
You know,
such a wonderful group to work with. So
Christine, forgive me. That is just what I observed, and that doesn't mean that is even the truth. I just, from the people I talked to maybe 10 or 15 years ago, I observed that, but I have no background in this at all. I just assumed that was how it was. I'm so glad to hear what you're saying. That is wonderful.
they only say that the Belgian people are more shy than in the Netherlands. They're more directly in speaking, and the Flemish people are a bit shy and timid, and that's perhaps one of the differences.
That's beautiful that you're working so well together. Good, good. Well, the lowlands are the place within Europe where all the waterways come in together. Not all the waterways, but many, many of the great waterways come in together. And there's a marriage of land and water in the lowlands that's unique. And the consciousness of the land there is unique in that it reflects that balance of land and earth and water. And so those two countries are now unified in that energy field. Beautiful. Yeah. So, how is this work affecting you personally? What's it doing for you? Both of you, Sigrid and Christine.
For me, in the last month, I discovered the ancestral work of the grandmothers. And I'm really fascinated about this, because I did a lot of work on my personal old loads and charges and so on. And it was quite long lasting, quite hard, quite painful. And with the ancestral work the grandmothers offer, it's the contrary. I see that really easy to heal old wounds. And I like this work very much. I had many experiences on my own with others in groups online, all present and also present. And many of the people who took part knows this personal work with therapists and so on. And all told me I couldn't imagine that there is a way to do this work very easy, nearly painless, a very lovely healing. And I think that has a big potential, that's a big chance for the people. In the last years, I experienced a lot of work in this area, and I understood that all the wounds that people have, or many of the wounds, are really the basis is in the ancestors. In former times, many people had a very hard life, and the main goal, I think, often was to survive. And all parents now, and also in former times, all the always did their very best for their children. And the children unconsciously always took over load from their parents, from their grandparents, over generations and generations up to now. And I have the feeling that we have now the big chance to heal all this. I think
Yes.
the former generations didn't have the chance to do it. Even in my parents' generations, it was after the World War very hard to live, and also more surviving than really living. And now I think we have the chance to change this, and we can do the healing for the ancestors, for us, and also for the following generations. And
this we will be doing as a group.
Yeah.
We will be doing this in Germany, and we will be doing it in Belgium. And you've spoken it so well. It's exactly right. It's forgiveness and blessing work. And it's a tremendous lifting. Instead of going into, I'm a therapist. I spent years doing therapy and going through therapy and examining everything. And there's good in that. And there comes a time when there's just this upswelling of lift and blessing that comes in. And this is a time for that. And so we will be enfolding all of the ancestors and all the ancestors of the land as well, going far, far, far back into prehistoric times, lifting and blessing, because that's what we're here for. And that is what the net of light does. It is the great lifter, the great holder and blesser. And we are at one with the net of light. So before we go any further, let's take a moment and experience that. Just experience sitting where you are. We've talked now a little bit about the old pain of the ancestral work, you know, the things that came in from grandma and uncle somebody, and all of this stuff that came to us, came into our life. And right now we call on the radiant net of light while we're sitting with all this ancestral stuff. We call on the net of light. Immediately, it's here. And we go forward now and take your place on the net of light, this vast fishing net, like light construct. And somewhere where two of those lines cross, there will be a place on the net that feels just right for you. So go forward now and sit down there and let the net of light hold you. Let it hold you. You may feel a rocking. It'll feel very comfortable. It's a resting place. This is your place in the radiant net of light that holds the entire cosmos. This is the net of light, the net of love. That is the life force, the giver, the sustainer, the loving presence. And just let yourself breathe with that now. And as you do, because we were talking of the ancestors and beginning to open our connection with them, your ancestors are also held in the net of light. Oh gosh, just breathe in. And as you breathe in, know that everyone, everything with whom you are connected is receiving right along with you this inflowing love, inflow of light, lifting and blessing. And as you breathe, you're breathing this in. And as you breathe out, you're breathing out through the net of light that transmutes all this and pours more light into you on your in-breath. And the grandmothers are here in the net of light with you, enjoying this so much, enjoying your peace, your opening, the blessing that you are. You're breathing with the grandmothers and the net of light. You're breathing in light and love effortlessly, and breathing out any of the old pain, discomfort, fear, feeling of separation. You're breathing in that right into the net of light. And the grandmothers and the net of light take that and flow more light into you. So you're breathing in light and you're breathing out whatever's ready to go effortlessly. Breathing in light, breathing out everything that's ready to go. And this rhythmic flow, again, this wave pattern, breathing light and love into you. And you breathe out whatever's ready to go. And more light and love just comes automatically into you. And it's a gradual and a continuous flow, an inflow of love and light. Because this is true. This is the truth of who you are. You are a lighted being. You are a being of light. All that other stuff is just comes and goes. It makes up stories for us. We think of it as his story, history. That's stuff. It's just stuff. But this is who you are. This living, breathing being of light. This living, breathing being of love. Net of light, floating in the net of light, net of light, net of light, holding in the net of light, reaching out, reaching in, reaching through the net of light, loving all, serving all, holding all within the light. Net of light, net of light, net of love, net of light, net of light, net of light. Our hearts are one within the light. And notice how you feel. This is how the grandmothers work through all their books, through all their songs. Teaspoonful by teaspoonful, they give us the next lesson easily and with a lot of joy, and many times with a lot of humor. They give us the next lesson so we can expand more, so we can soften more, and we can love more. And so this is what you can expect as you work with the grandmothers, an increase in love. They promised, we will increase your capacity to give and to receive love. And they do. So since I've got the two of you here,
I would like to add something, Sharon.
yeah.
At the beginning, when I got to know the grandmothers and began reading the books, I thought that the wounds are ignored because there was so much light and love in them. And that, I don't know if it's really the right thing for me, because I only knew that this work has to be hard, no? With really effortless. I didn't understand. No, I couldn't imagine that this really could be effortless. And by the time I experienced it more and more, and now I really can see it. That it is like that, and in the ancestral rituals, ancestral healing work the grandmothers describe in the books, then I understood it. At the beginning, there is a little space for the wounds. You even don't talk about it. You only feel about that, or you can realize it. But then the rest of the work is only full of forgiveness, gratitude, love, and that's really healing, lovely healing. And the last month I really realized, yeah, it is like that. It can be effortless. There is no effort needed. And this, I think, is the biggest experience for me. And therefore, I'm like a grandmother sister said to me, oh, it seems to be that you are the ancestors' ambassador. And I can really tell you, I feel like that. Therefore, I'm really looking forward to the gathering in Trier, where these ancestors' work is the heart of the gathering. Because I feel it's so important.
It's so, I'm going to say a little bit, and then I want to turn to you, Christine, because we've been just working on this ancestral thing. I just want to say one more thing about that. The ancestors love this work because they want to help. They suffered while they were alive. They didn't know how to get out of that suffering, and they were caught up in it. And then they see their loved ones down the line suffering like that. They love to feel the love and the light. So when we work with the ancestors, we do get, like you, Sigrid, just so happy and so full of that because they are so happy. It's the healing goes way, way, way back into what we think of as the past, heals all kinds of stuff. And then that wave of love comes forward through us and into what we think of as the future. So those coming in come into such a beautiful lighted place. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, in former times, I tried to ignore the ancestors because I think, okay, this time is over, and it was only hard, and I felt that it's what it did with me, and I didn't want to have to do anything with that. And at
like
least until I knew, pardon me?
It's like you don't want to touch that thing. You don't want to touch that ancestral.
I didn't want to touch them. And then I got to know, okay, it's the only way to heal, but then it was always very hard. And I thought, okay, if this can't be the way for all people to do. I really was sure about that. And then I read it in the grandmother's book, read about it, and thought, okay, this could be the way for many people to do, and not the hard, long-lasting, and so on. Now I think the time is different, the energy is different, and now it's really possible. I think and now I can really see the, or I can really be grateful for the ancestors, because I see they really want to help us. They are just waiting for us to call them, to help us, to support us. And I really feel a big, how to say it, a lot of more power in me, because I think the ancestors are my roots, and now they are really behind me. And
we're going to have to find a particular work for you to do with this, because this is clearly your work to do, and it's beautiful. Christine, I want to go to you now. So I just wanted to ask you, for your own self, for your own personal Christine self, what is this work with the grandmothers, might be ancestral work or something different. How is it helping you?
People who know me since long time say that it feels like the grandmothers forced me to stand in my power. I was the one always thinking I'm not good enough, I do not deserve this. And the grandmothers teach me that I can be who I really am, and that I simply am love and light. And it makes life so much easier to go with the flow and to be confident, and it brings so much joy. And when I think of the grandmothers, I always see them laughing. And when there is a moment I have some little troubles, and perhaps I'm taking it too heavy, I think the grandmothers, and I see them laughing. Oh, you silly, just go with the flow and give the problems to the net of light and live your life and just be happy. And the last time it's easier and easier. And I feel when you can share this with other people, they also starting to live like that. For them also it makes life easier.
So how does it feel, Christine, when they say to you, go with the flow, and you do? How does it feel in your body when you go with the flow?
Much easier. I feel so much happiness and joy. I love to go in nature. When I go out in nature, I always have the connection with the grandmothers. And even when I talk to them in nature, some buzzards come. So it's so wonderful. And today it has been raining all day, and now we are sitting here and the sun comes out, and it feels like the grandmother saying, okay, it's good what you're doing. So it's so wonderful.
That's exactly right. Good work you are doing. And when you're doing that, everybody's happy. Your happiness makes more happiness for the divine and for each other. So thank you. I really thank both of you, Christine and Sigrid, for coming today so we could talk a little bit about this energy that's coming up and beginning to show up now as we get ready to move to this gathering, first in Germany and then in Belgium. It will be beautiful, beautiful work. There'll be great, great opening within you and within everyone. So before we say goodbye, let's right now just call on the grandmothers, these beautiful beings of light who showed up back in September of 1996, the first time to me they showed up as these beautiful women, these older women, all races, all types, all cultures. Let them come in now around you. Give yourself that experience. Let them come in and hold you now. And they'll crowd in. There's about a dozen of them. They'll crowd in all around you, touching you, holding you, cooing, singing, loving, loving, loving you. Oh, and you just sit there and receive that. And they sing, oh, how we love you. Oh, how we love you. Oh, how we love you. How we love you. Just breathe with them, breathing in that love. You are precious to them. You are at one with them. And your heart sings back that, oh, how we love you, sings that back to them. And this song goes on and will go on and on forevermore. So we'll see you again at the next online teaching in September. I think it's maybe September 3rd that it is. And Nadia and I will be there in Germany. Yeah, and on our way to Belgium. Oh, thank you so much. See you in a couple of months, but you'll all be together first Sunday in September. I have a dog just like that.